Thank you for tuning into Hidden Sovreign Truth Revealed. This episode is called Truth is an Endangered Species. Uncommon sense will rock the foundations of your beliefs about American and world history, law, economics, and politics. You will discover that the federal United States government has been bankrupt numerous times since 1933 and has systematically concealed this from the American people. You will discover that Federal Reserve notes, FRNs, are not lawful money, but promissory notes obligating taxpayers and U.S. citizens to return income taxes to the Federal Reserve Bank, not the U.S. government. You will discover that the Federal Reserve Bank is a private joint stock trust, not part of the United States government. All allodial land and lawful money, i.e., gold, silver in the United States of America, has been hypothecated to the Federal Reserve Bank since 1913 as collateral and payment against an unpayable federal debt. Property, motor vehicles, birth certificates, national parks and forests, and the assets of all nonprofit and for-profit corporations have been pledged as collateral against the federal debt, a debt that can never be paid off. You cannot tender payment of a debt with Federal Reserve notes, FRNs, only with lawful money. The Federal Reserve Bank and its foreign principals/creditors control the federal United States government and directs all legislative action and public policy through its lending and monetary policies. The U.S. Congress is simply a trustee for the continued bankruptcy of the United States Government Corporation. The IRS is a collection agency for the International Monetary Fund, IMF, collecting from a bankrupt Federal Reserve Bank. Your income tax does not go to the United States government, but to service your individual obligation toward the federal debt. Your income tax does not provide basic government services which are paid for through excise sales and other taxes. When a well-packaged web of lies has been sold gradually to the masses over generations, the truth will seem utterly preposterous and its speaker a raving lunatic. U.S. citizens cannot own true and lawful title to land unless you've updated the land patent and removed any encumbrances or liens as an American national or sovereign state citizen. The United States Government Corporation has quitclaim deeded all the property in the United States of America to the foreign principals, creditors, as collateral against the unpayable debt. When you purchased your property or real estate, you received a deed, not an allodial title. A deed only represents equitable or beneficial interest in a trust property owned by the state acting as a trustee. Without an allodial title held in your sovereign capacity, banks loaning you so-called money can attach a lien on your property until it's discharged in full. If you fail to pay the mortgage, the bank will foreclose on the property. Even if it's paid in full with FRNs after 30 years, you still don't hold the true title, only possession in fee simple. U.S. citizens do not own their motor vehicles. As trustee, the state holds the true title and has legal ownership in the property. You get a certificate of title that certifies that you are a beneficial holder. The legal owner has the right to require the beneficial holder to get it registered with state-issued plates, have a state-issued driver's license, and insurance. In essence, you are renting the use of a government-owned vehicle. The legislative intent of the Motor Vehicle Code is to regulate the commercial operation of motor vehicles only. There are hidden liens on your person, your property, and your future productivity toward discharging the unpayable federal debt. Most Americans are fundamentally bankrupt and have not been paid real money for working in their entire lives. 92% of all Americans are bankrupt at age 62. Unless you get educated and protect what remains of your assets now, Americans will wake up one day soon, as Thomas Jefferson warned, shake their weary heads, and wonder what the heck happened. Homelessness and the proliferation of social, racial, and political violence are advanced symptoms of undeclared state and federal bankruptcies. We the people and our political leaders have unwittingly sold out our country, our freedoms, and our children's future for privileges, benefits, temporary entitlements, and the short-term success of a privileged few. U.S. citizens are not citizens at all, but subjects and property of the District of Columbia, residents and franchisees of the bankrupt federal United States government corporation organized under municipal law. You will discover that the Constitution for the United States of America and the Bill of Rights does not apply to U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens are subjects and property governed under statutory, admiralty, and maritime law, military, and martial law under the undisclosed presumption of an international contract. U.S. citizens have no constitutional protections or unalienable rights, only privileges and rights granted by the government. Legal persons, born or naturalized in the federal United States, were created exclusively by the 14th Amendment after the Civil War. The 14th Amendment was never lawfully ratified. Your vote is purely advisory and does not directly elect, affect, or create public law. Your vote obligates you to pay municipal, county, and state bonds through property taxes. If your vote ever really changed anything, it would have been illegal a long time ago. The gold-fringed Admiralty and military flag, not the American flag, flies in the President's Oval Office and in most of the so-called courts in this country. U.S. citizens are legally disabled. Wards of the state, considered incompetent children incapable of making their own decisions, acting judicially or in their sovereign capacity. We, the people, must reclaim our power of attorney to act judicially in our sovereign capacity and stop the government from acting on our behalf without our consent. We, the people, must reclaim the American system of law and restore our unalienable sovereign rights. We, the people, have the unilateral power of declaration by affidavit and legal notice, the unlimited power and right to contract and to organize our affairs with little or no government involvement. We, the people, have the power to form grand juries to prosecute public officials who are violating our unalienable or constitutionally protected rights under color of law through Title 42, 1983, 1985, 1986, or Title 18, 241, 242 actions. We, the people, must make our government accountable to the U.S. Constitution, the sovereignty of the people, and the American system of common law. You have forgotten what country you live in. The federal United States government is a foreign corporation with regards to the United States of America, not the country you live in or owe allegiance to. We, the people, are sovereign, state citizens and nationals under the supremacy of the state and federal constitutions. We, the people, unknowingly elected away our unalienable rights and property by becoming 14th Amendment U.S. citizens under the jurisdiction of the federal United States. Social Security benefits and the income tax, with a few exceptions for foreign-earned income, are voluntary contracts made mandatory for federal government employees and U.S. citizens who receive benefits from the government. We, the people, can lawfully reclaim our true, sovereign, American national, or state, citizenship, and take back our government from those who would destroy our country for their own self-interest. I used to have a country, but they sold it down the river, like a repossessed farm auctioned off to the highest bidder. 7 aspects to work on. Every aspect of sovereignty defines the realm of a responsible individual. It takes courage, faith, kindness, and contentment to reach the levels of joy we are capable of in our lives. The 7 aspects of sovereignty are: 1. Attaining physical health and well-being. 2. Attaining emotional health and balance. 3. Practicing spiritual sovereignty and the Golden Rule. 4. Free yourself from mental slavery. 5. Achieving economic sovereignty and financial independence. 6. Choosing your citizenship. 7. Establishing true independence in your nation of choice. These are the 7 aspects of sovereignty. Sovereignty is an attitude. It's a way of being, it's a way of life. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Please like and subscribe as we continue to reveal hidden sovereign truth.